into small bike stuff. This is a Suzuki FX125. The FX125 was built in the late 90s and the early 2000s. It's a 5-speed manual, 125cc dual overhead cam. Now this model has some similarities with the FXR150, which is quite commonly used as a bucket racer. It also shares a few features from the Suzuki Raider 150. Some countries that is known as the Balang. That's a 6-speed manual, 150cc, whereas this thing here is the 125 5-speed manual. Epic little machine. It does about 100 kilometers an hour. 114 is the fastest I've ever had it GPS verified. I want to know exactly what I'm capable of with a full tank of gas when riding the Suzuki FX125. She's a bit too loose. That's better. Nice. So this might seem crazy to some of you, but this is a main highway in New Zealand. But this is a main highway going between two main centres. Having no trouble keeping up with these cars. So we're at a little place called Waihi Beach. It's maybe 45 kilometers from town. This is it. Well, that's pretty cool. So anyway, the FX125 came out in late 90s. This model specifically is from 2003. Suzuki was one of the only brands that backed their Southeast Asian manufacturers, and what they would build there is quite often little tiny things like this, or maybe a tiny bit bigger. In New Zealand, this is one of the main Malaysian models they got, a Suzuki FX125. It was short-lived. There was maybe a few hundred at most brought into the country. This here, straight out of the factory, is able to clock 100 kilometers an hour. Bikes like this are quintessential to the world of small bikes. Let's go up here. This is a place called Bowentown. So, this is a 5-speed manual. It's got 17-inch wheels front and rear. There's a 70-90 17 on the front, and there's an 80-90 17 on the rear. So we've got a slightly wider profile at the rear than we do at the front. This is an aftermarket fairing set, which has had a bit of a hard life. There's a few scratches and things like that. Front disc brake, the twin pot caliper, full manual. As you can see here, here's the clutch, high, low, left and right indicator. We've also got the horn and the electric start. The on and off switch for the lights is blanked off for the New Zealand market. We've got a sight glass down there for the oil, the standard exhaust, Suzuki dual overhead cam. It's a wicked little machine. It's super capable. There's not really much room under here. So we've got our battery, we've got a fuel tank here, and then that's it basically. Don't fall off. Yeah, woohoo! Great news. The distance that I need to be able to do between gas stations on this ride next week is 144 kilometers. I just got 145 to a tank. So I'll top it up. I've got a little bit of fuel here. 145 kilometers on a full tank. Let's go fill this thing up and see what we can get in it. We'll see how much we can get. I use 98 octane in this thing because why not? It's not really taking much, so it's not that much of a difference in price.